Hey everyone, so a couple weeks ago I shared with you guys an ad that Joe Biden's campaign put out that was frankly just insultingly bad in its attempt to reach out to young people. And I thought that really was probably one of the cringiest things that I've ever seen. But somehow they were able to top it with yet another just desperate, sad attempt at reaching out to young people. So let's take a look at it, and then we'll come back and we'll just talk about what a masterpiece this is.
Any threes?
No, I don't. Do you have any nines?
Yeah. I always start with dessert.
Is the name Maurice funnier than Martin?
I like Maurice.
One R. Yeah, don't try too hard.
Working on a speech that I'm going to need you to deliver.
You should try to find a place for the word loquacious. 41 down, comedy duo Key and Blank. How many E's in Peel?
Three. Threes and peel. Three.
It's 13.
Come on, Keegan, you can do 20. Keegan, I do everything 46 these days.
That's 20.
Do 30, Keegan. 30. 10 more.
Come on, Joe.
30. Pretty good, man.
Yeah, is that nice?
Pretty good. I'm still working on my sunglasses.
But, Joe, I gotta get going.
Where you going? You're quarantined. You can't go anywhere. We're in quarantine.
You're right. You're right.
Keegan, do you have any threes?
I do, Joe. Yes, I do.
All right, so I get it. This is Joe Biden trying to come off as relatable, and maybe this is supposed to be funny. I guess. I guess this is supposed to be funny, but it's one of these things where one, if he's trying to come off as relatable, you got to do something that doesn't look like the most staged thing in the world. Like, obviously, nobody is supposed to watch that and think that it's real, that he's actually doing that. But we're supposed to at least have this image that, like, oh, this is like, he's a fun guy and he likes to, goof around a little bit. But it looked just so fake. It was just so over the top bad. And it wasn't funny either, is the thing. It was just like trying to be a little goofy. And I don't want to be that stickler that's like, oh, I can't have fun or anything because, but he is running to be president of the United States. I mean, we are literally entering probably a depression. Like, is this really what he thinks is going to resonate with voters? I'm sorry. Like, what kind of attempt at reaching out to young people is like, what little respect does he have for young people where he thinks that like, this will get him, this will, I'll show him how cool I am, I can spell peel, and Key and Peel, I can spell the 3 E's. Like, it's just so bad. And it's just, and so, this came after Joe Biden's campaign put out like a statement, and it wasn't really an official statement, but one of their staffers was talking about how they wanted to make him go viral. That was like something they said, that was like a goal of theirs. Like, we gotta get Joe to go viral. And it's just like, one, I don't think that they really understand like how to use the internet super effectively, just because social media, Donald Trump is a master at using social media effectively. His tweets literally make the news every single day. Like, every single day. Joe Biden, I can't imagine a time where Joe Biden's tweets actually created like a news story or anything. And part of that is because, it's almost 100% Joe Biden doesn't run his Twitter. And I was just thinking the other day that it would be the biggest plot twist ever if we found that Donald Trump doesn't run his own Twitter. Like, obviously, sure seems like he does. But like, imagine if he didn't. Like, wouldn't that be crazy? But that's beside the point. This also, after they made that attempt about trying to make him to go viral, they put out a crossword puzzle, and it was your Get to Know Joe crossword puzzle. And I'm not kidding. It was literally like fun facts about Joe. Like, what was Joe Biden's childhood dog name? And that's 4 across. Like, it was sad. It was just really sad that they think that is how you appeal to young voters, and like not with like literally take it from the candidate that had the most support from young people. Bernie Sanders overwhelmingly won with young people. He wasn't putting out ads like this. He was, and the very few times where stuff came out that like made him look a little bit more relatable, it looked very real. Like there was stuff about like him playing basketball a little bit, and it looked like he's just having some fun playing basketball. I remember like a video came out of him at like some like ball or something, and he was like dancing with a bunch of people, but it looked like kind of like real. It looked more genuine, and obviously like when you're running for president, I mean almost everything they do, they understand that there are like cameras on them. I remember a video came out. It was of like Bernie like just like playing with his kid, like or I think it's not his kid, it was his grandkid, and he was like pretending to be a monster. He was like rah, and like the kid was enjoying it. And like obviously, I don't think that that's how you should choose like who's gonna be the president, is like who can seem more relatable. But like even that, Bernie was better than Joe Biden at, and like just because Bernie Sanders, that wasn't like the focal point of his campaign. That was just like things that came out. But what he talked about were policies that young people care about: Green New Deal, raising the minimum wage, free college, Medicare for all. These are issues that are incredibly popular with young people. But Joe Biden doesn't support any of those things. So obviously he can't have an ad where he talks about those things. So it's either make a silly cliche ad that has a bunch of like platitudes and cliches that doesn't actually say anything, and hope that young people will like somehow take away from that he supports things that they support. Or he'll put out an ad like this where he'll just try and be goofy and relatable. I don't think that either are incredibly effective. I think that talking about specific policy things that you want to do, that is those are the best hard-hitting campaign ads, or like a really good attack ad. I mean, really good attack ad can obviously do a lot of damage. But it's just so sad to me that like they spent money on that. They spent money to put that on the air. I don't know how much, but if it was any dollar, you could argue that they should have spent money to keep that a secret and not show that to people. Just because I can't imagine that that's persuaded anybody to vote for Joe Biden. Maybe you can make the argument that people that already supported Joe Biden, they would like him a little bit more after this. Maybe. But I wouldn't believe you. I really wouldn't believe you if you told me that. It's just so cringy. It's just so bad. Such a sad attempt at trying to be relatable. And someone okayed that. Someone thought that was a good idea to put in an ad and to release to people. So it just shows. And then when Joe Biden loses, they're gonna. I mean, I hope he doesn't lose. I mean, if it's between him and Donald Trump, I think that he would be a better candidate. But if he loses, people will blame progressives, and they'll blame people that said bad things about him. They won't blame him for running a terrible campaign, a campaign where literally his only strength is hoping that people don't see him. He wants to run a limited exposure campaign where as few people as possible see him. I mean, that's. His campaign doesn't inspire people. The number one way that people are trying to get people to vote for him is just by trying to shame away people from voting for the other candidates, trying to shame people like from voting Donald Trump or for voting for a third party. You want a candidate that inspires people to vote for them, not just against all the other options. And so Joe Biden just doesn't do that. He just doesn't inspire that kind of that loyalty that you need. He doesn't inspire that like kind of like excitement. Not the way Donald Trump does. There are people who, no matter who the Democrats were, they would want to vote for Donald Trump because they like Donald Trump. And so Joe Biden just doesn't do that. If Bernie Sanders was the nominee, there would be people who want Bernie Sanders. Not just that they don't want Trump, that they want Bernie. Joe Biden is just this weird anti-Trump. That's all he is. He only exists as being anti-Donald Trump. And I just don't think that that's effective. And I really don't think that it's looking good for the Joe Biden campaign. I know that he's up in some of the polls, but if you look in 2016, he's exactly where Hillary Clinton was at this time. And I hope he changes course. I hope he starts, really getting behind it. Maybe his VP pick. Who knows? Maybe he'll pick Bernie Sanders for VP. Maybe he'll pick Nina Turner or Barbara Lee. Barbara Lee would be a good VP pick. He's probably not going to pick any of those three people I just named. But we'll see. I obviously hope for the best. I try not to be like nihilistic about these things. But anyway, if you guys disagreed with anything I said in this video, please leave a comment down below. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and have a great day.